this going to work? We're going to find out. I'm using some new software. Come on. I think it's working. Hang on. Everyone's asking where I am, but yet I am here. What's up, guys? Is this happening? Come on down. I don't think I need this anymore. Wow. All right. Welcome, supporters from all three platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Locals. So I'm excited because the software I use to stream these live shows, look at everybody's comments there. Whoop, whoop from Denver. Aaron, Carrie Campo's here. Jane Doust. Are we in YouTube? Ongoing to leave and check. Dude, that's where we are. Hola, friends. Christine. Okay, so the software I use to stream is called OBS. It's this open software that I use to stream, and it just got a new upgrade where I can see YouTube comments in the actual software itself, which streamlines everything a lot for me. So everything's in one place. I can make sure I'm streaming. I can see all your comments. And so what I did today was I said, well, let's just stream to YouTube because YouTube has the highest quality, but I'll share the links on Facebook, Locals, and YouTube. So all three supporter groups get to participate via a pretty quick and nice looking interface. So tell me what you guys think of this. I know it's not as good as going, say, native to Facebook, native to Locals, but today I've been kind of ignoring my YouTube tribe. You know, there's quite a few of them now. It's grown a bit, and I figure, hey, let's make it pop. All right. So anyways, notification from everywhere but Facebook, Ashley Stewart. I know, Facebook sucks. We all know this. Robin Jacobs, hey, from Maryland, just got my first vaccine and 3 hours ago, thanks to your message. Oh, I love it. I titled this thing ABC, anything but COVID, but you know we're going to like slip in some shit there. Congratulations, man. I'm still getting like the daily like 100 odd emails, and I'm trying my best to catch up with them. The whole thing. I'm just so tired of it, right, Erica? But again, what are you going to do? You know, people are freaking out. There's all kinds of stuff. There's always stuff going on. So you got to talk about it. But, you know, if I had my way, I'd talk about anything but. So we'll talk about all the things. Looks pretty smooth, says Lil D. That's good. Erica Black is here. Video quality is grainy. Has anybody else seen a grainy video quality on YouTube? I hope not. Looks good on my end, but maybe it's Erica's thing, or maybe it's all y'all. TPS is going to switch to Locals. Locals is pretty good. See, other people are saying grainy video too. Let me see. The preview looks good. Huh. Wow. Well, maybe I'll ask Logan what he thinks right now. Yo, people are saying the video is grainy, though. How's it look to you? All right. Logan's going to troubleshoot. Oh, other people are saying grainy. Huh. But then RN Music says, no, it's good quality video. Crisp video here on iOS. Maybe it depends on the platform. Looks good on PC. Okay, well, thanks for helping me figure this out. So when did your crush on Marty McCary begin, says Aaron? We met at a American Medical Group Association conference we were both keynoting at, and went out to lunch because, you know, I'd read his book on Accountable. And, you know, did you guys know that Fox's series The Resident was based on his book? Like, you know, Hodad, Hands of Death and Destruction, that was an attending physician that he worked with when he was training at Hopkins. So we kind of had lunch at a Chinese restaurant where the Bushes goes, because he was based in DC at the time, and that's where the conference was. So he took me to lunch at this like little Chinese restaurant that like has bulletproof glass, because the Bush family loves, when George H.W. was there and then George W., they used to love and go and eat at this place. So the Secret Service had them install this bulletproof glass. So he took me to lunch and we were talking and just commiserating about what it's like to be, you know, a thought leader in today's day. And we were complaining about like speaking clients and all this. And I'm like, man, there's like no one I can talk about this stuff with. And then when the pandemic started, you know, so we had him on the show talking about his book, The Price We Pay, which is a fantastic book. Then the pandemic started and, you know, he became quite prominent talking about stuff rather prophetically on some angles. And so we've maintained our bromance since then. So let's see here. There was something relating to that I wanted to say about Marty. Yeah, Marty's a real smart guy and has a team that helps him like research a lot of the stuff that he talks about. Unlike me, where I just pull stuff out of my ass, it's a very different level of diligence that we're talking about. Vicky Doc, you didn't miss anything. Okay, we're just talking shit. Beverly Hanson, I heard a 5-star review on you from an ER doc at Stanford. Oh, I wonder who that was, Beverly. You got to tell me the name. I know a lot of those guys. I actually just had lunch with one of them recently. Yeah, so what else was I going to say about that? So it looks like, is it streaming okay? It looks like it's doing okay. You got a good bit rate here. Everything looks good. You know what? Maybe, hold on. Maybe it's grainy. I don't know what a virtual camera is, Logan. Oh, here, Logan's saying something. Quality is decent. I don't know if it's the phone, but it looks bit ratey. I like the frames are too far apart. Try upping the bit rate. Let me try something else. Hold on. Tell me if I disappear for a second. I'm just going to test this. Stop virtual camera. Okay, let's see if I disappear. If I don't disappear, tell me if the video starts looking better. Oh, I think I'm still going. So, okay, tell me if that improved the video, what I just did. Because there's something called virtual camera. I don't know what the hell that is, but I just killed it, and it might actually make the video quality better, but who knows? I don't know anything. All right, not grainy anymore. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, so there was this button that Logan that said virtual camera. I don't know what it is. It's new on the new OBS. I assumed I had to run that in order to stream, but I guess I don't because all the setup is different. You moved my cheese, OBS. And now Z-Dog doesn't know what's up. Speaking of which, look at that. That's old merch, new merch, which is also old merch. It's rebooted, awesome reprint merch. In other words, a new run that Risa's doing of our classic, most popular merch is only available for the next 24 hours. I put the link in the description on every platform. Use the code ZFAM for 25% off supporter discount. And you can only order in the next 24 hours. So alt middle, think for yourself, sweatshirts, nuance, right? The answer's in the middle or something. I forget what the tagline is. Doc Vader, did you die? Like really cool old school Z-Dog merch. So you got to get that in time for your meeting with Uncle Billy at Thanksgiving, right? Where it's like, what? He's like, what's that alt middle mean? And you're like, bitch, I'm going to tell you right now. And then it creates this drama, which is what you want. Let's see. Still going, and it does look slightly sharper on the tablet. Okay, good. I ordered a sweater, an oversized. I'm a live in it all winter long. Excited for it, Miss Maniacal. Dude, that's awesome. I'm wearing my Health 3.0 shirt today. It's nice to be wearing my merch instead of my uniform. Dude, I love it, Ashley. That's dope. Health 3.0 for life, son. This Friday, I'm doing a virtual talk for the Professional Nurse Educator Group out of Mayo. It's a conference for nurse educators. So we're going to talk about all the Health 3.0s, all the alt middle, all the empathy versus compassion. Dory got the, oh yeah, that's right, supporter tribe. It's not a cult. That's the other shirt. It's an awesome shirt. Dory got one. That's actually a great way to rep, supporter tribe. Risa does a great job with the merch, man. And let's see. So make sure to order it because you only have 24 hours. Tomorrow is gonna be the last day to be able to order it. Okay, so let's see. So it does work. So I don't even know that I need this computer. All I need is this. This is great. I love this shit, man. Maybe I can open. Who cares? Kelly says, can't fix ugly, guys. I know. I've been trying for years. Speaking of Doc Vader, where is he? Says RN Music. I don't know. I got bored of Vader, man. Or I should say, Doc Vader got bored of me. So at some point when I'm less bored of him, I'll pull him back out. He's a great vehicle to do some crazy shit with. Midnight Baker, I didn't see Where's My Hose. Oh yeah, Where's My Hose? That's a Christmas shirt, Midnight. So Christmas gear is going to come soon too. What's up, ball boys? Oh, Logan says it's the same. It gets clear every couple seconds and then falls off. Yeah, so that's weird. I wonder, Logan, if it's because I'm using this weird new way to stream and whether it's screwed up. I don't think I can change bitrate on the fly, but let me try. I'll go to preferences. I'll go to output. It's at 25,000, Logan. So, I mean, I can go to 40,000. Let's try that and see what happens. All right. So Logan, it's now at 40,000. So let's see if that actually makes the video quality better. I don't think it will. I think there's something else going on. Oh, and let me make sure that I set it at 4K because I know I did, but you know how that goes. Video. Shit. I see what it is, Logan. I had set it to 4K, but it auto set back. It auto set back to 1080. That's why the quality's shitty. That's probably what it is. It's streaming at a super high bit rate. Yeah. That's what it is. I had set it, but it must have like defaulted back when I rebooted. Okay, so we're only streaming at 1080. Normally we go 4K. Problem solved. I figured it out. Yes, Stingray, I'm having problems with my stream. I can't get it started. I can't get it stopped. Actually, I do wonder. I wonder if I can't. If I try to stop it, it'll fuck it up. Dominic says YouTube automatically sets it to the lowest. It didn't used to do that, so OBS would override it. But I think what's happening now is this new way of streaming. Okay, well, I'll get it figured out. Are those pores or pixels? Both. Ball boys. How dare you? All right, what else you guys want to talk about? Because we're here. We're here, we're queer, and we're in 1080p. Oh, wow, it's only on 480 on the phone. Yeah. Logan, I wonder if it's something that, like, it's some OBS glitch. We'll test it next time, Logan. You and I will make it a private feed, and we'll double test it before we go live. Just cuz. All right. I just ordered Nuance, Alt Middle, Coca-Cola, and Did You Die? Nice additions to my I don't give a fuck wardrobe. Erica, dude, you're the best. You're the best. Amelia, got my mom, a pathologist, and my dad, a pediatrician, into your stuff, and they're obsessed. 2 more docs on the alt middle train. I got them some gift merch too when they're going to be pumped about. Dude, that's so awesome. That just fills me with joy. It really does. Man, that's great. Dude, so yeah, the Dr. Death podcast, I know, Tag. That shit's cray. You guys should check it out if you haven't on your favorite podcasting platform. Erica Black, my week's been bad. It's suggested that my daughter needs special school for her behavioral issues. Dude, I'm sorry. That's hard. I don't have a magic answer except to say we're with you, girl. And Ashley, don't let them tell you what's up. You go, you want a special behavioral issue? How's this? That's what I would say. But unfortunately, that would not be the right answer. Yeah, I'm sorry you're going through that. Risa says, what is Risa saying? She's talking to someone else. Oh, Risa says, hey, from my Home Depot fam, broken shower. Oh, what? Dude, make your boy toy fix that shit. Broken showers, man. Showers are overrated, believe me. You need to collab with Alton Brown, Dominic. Dude, I should do a cooking show with Alton Brown. That'd be dope. Is that what we're talking about? I kind of want to collab with Russell Brand, Mike Rowe. Those two, I kind of really admire the stuff they're doing recently. How about cryptocurrency Ethereum network for decentralized healthcare data? So people talk about the blockchain as a way to see. I think it's interesting. Not, there's a privacy component, but I think it's actually interesting as a non-fuckable ledger, so you can actually see where all healthcare spending goes. And I think that's quite interesting, right? So there's some applications for blockchain technology within healthcare for sure. Erica said, I'd die if you collabed with Alton Brown. I find Alton, though, the thing about Alton is he's so anal. He's hilarious, but he's so anal about cooking that it removes the joy of cooking. He's always like, wow, you got to make sure that you steam sterilize your wooden, cutting board because, pubes can be in there and little pubes can make you sick. And I'm like, dude, don't let me think about pubes. I just want to cook some delicious bass. Yeah, it would be great, right, Dominic? It'd be fun to have Mike Rowe, all those guys. Ashley says, I'm so tired today. I feel like I have a migraine, but migraines feel different after being on Aimovig for a while. I could function today, but I'm definitely not feeling great, dude. Suffering is definitely ingrained in the human existence that we have, right? It's what makes it a little easier is when we drop the resistance to whatever we're feeling, to whatever's actually happening. And that's easy to say and hard to do. You know, I've been watching some of Angelo's videos on his channel called Simply Always Awake. That's his channel about non-dual awareness. So this idea of just like dropping all the filters, the resistance, the thought patterns, and just experiencing present moment exactly as it is. That means just seeing, just hearing, just sensing, and seeing what that does. And it's really, you know, at times it can get really trippy, but there are other times where it clicks and you can't even imagine suffering, because even suffering is just so. It's just this. It's just as it is. And by suffering, I mean, you know, pain, discomfort, just the raw sensation of it is just as the universe is supposed to be right now. And when the resistance that our mind creates, the thought pattern of resistance, the sense making, the story that it tells drops, it's just this. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. How could it be anything other than it is? And it's easy to talk about this, but it's impossible to talk about this. It's impossible to actually convey in words what that experience of dropping filters and just being everything is. So it's just the universe happening to itself. And there isn't even consciousness, because consciousness and what's happening, consciousness and its contents, consciousness and sight, consciousness and sound, consciousness and sensing, there's no distinction. It's just the senses happening, self-luminous, just conscious. How do you even say this? You can't say it. You have to experience it. And the only way to do that is to be absolutely present with no filters, which means dropping everything and being here, which sounds like that's all it is, but that's what all the spiritual path is kind of trying to kind of get at. And then when it just happens, it's like, oh, it's just been this all the time. But the only way to really get to that point is you have to kind of prime the ego mind with all that path, I think. And again, I've only experienced this in fits and starts, but when I have, I've just been like, oh shit, there's no doubt that that's liberation. That's like accepting life as it is. That's the universe happening right now, the self dropping away and everything just vibrant and alive and perfect. And even to get a glimpse of that in this lifetime has been just like, yes, I can die now. Like, I get it. And I wish I could get back there, but it'll happen, right? It's really interesting. It's been interesting for me. You need to have Mike Rowe and his mom on. Hell yeah, Amy J, I do. That'd be awesome, actually. Nick Barshik says, hey, have to get back to my work right now, but so excited to join my first live. Welcome, brother. Thank you, Dr. Z. You have been a lamp in the darkness of misinformation. You are so kind. Thank you for that, Nick, for inspiring me. Erica says, Eckhart Tolle is a gateway drug. Yeah, it's true. Talking to Chris, Tolle was the thing that started me on this whole path. And it's funny, at the time, I didn't understand half the shit he was saying, but I just knew something was going on. I'm like, dude, there's something this guy's saying that feels as real as anything I've ever experienced. And no religion, no belief structure, no science, nothing has triggered the sense of awe and realness that listening to Eckhart Tolle Power of Now on audiobook did for me in 2012. And I'd been seeking truth in science, seeking truth in whatever, even psychedelic experiences in college, going, oh man, there's something there. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just drugs. And then you experience it in a waking state with no drugs and you go, oh, no, that's just reality. That's just, our mind is like as Aldous Huxley says, our mind is like a reducing valve. It takes raw experience that's vibrant, luminous, self-aware, just is, outside of time, outside of space, just is. And it starts to create a world out of it. It puts distance. It creates a three-dimensional space. It labels the objects. It demarcates them as self and other. It creates a subject-to-object conformation that feels like standard existence. But standard existence is a lie. It's an illusion. It's still the same thing. It's still just consciousness happening. But where our attention is, where consciousness is trapped, is in these thought forms. And that's where suffering happens, because we think that's all there is. And when that relaxes, and Eckhart points the way, many others throughout history have pointed the way to this. Jesus, the Buddha, everybody, they've all been pointing to now. You don't find this truth in the future. You don't find it in the past. You don't find it in thought. It's outside of thought. It's non-conceptual, and it only exists now. It's always existed now. It cannot but exist now. There is nothing but now. Even now is a thought. What's pointed to by the thought that says now is eternity, is eternal this unfolding now, you and me live now, this. There's nothing but it. That's it. That's enlightenment. That's awakening. That's everything. And it's now. It's always been this way. And when you actually see it, you realize you have a flash of insight. It's always been like this. It's never been gone. I don't know what happened. I got lost in the sauce, but this is how it's been. Joanne. Jim Carrey is a big fan of Eckhart Tolle and has posted videos on consciousness and awakening. Yeah, actually, Jim Carrey, who's an anti-vaxxer, by the way, which I cannot abide, but he had a really funny interview he did where he talked about this. And he said, it was crazy. Like, everything dropped away, myself dropped away, and I was the universe. And every single day after that, I've been trying to get back to that place. That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like when you get that glimpse of non-dual reality. Like, it's just this. It's just it. I mean, I kind of, when Angela was on my show, I kind of described it to him, my experience of it. And he was uncharacteristically just said, yeah, I'm really digging what you're saying. Because that's really what it's like. I mean, look how I light up now, even just remembering. And it's not even remembering, because the experience of non-duality, of just this, of the self dropping out and pulsating aliveness as it is, perfect, cannot be remembered, because memory is a thought. It's the mind trying to make sense, make a story. I was the one who had this experience that was transcendent. But that's more stories. The mind cannot wrap itself around that experience, because the mind exists within it. It's like when they talk about the Big Bang, it's expanding, the universe is expanding. What's it expanding into? What is space and time expanding into? Put your mind there. You can't. It's the same with reality. True reality, the present moment, aliveness, pure awareness, experiencing itself as form. The mind can't go there, so it tells stories. Oh, remember when you had that crazy experience of non-duality and you told your friends about it? It can't even come close to the facsimile. The words might point you towards the experience, but that's the best you can do. And even then, you're probably going to fail. Adi Ashanti says, I try to fail in my teaching as cleanly as I can, because it's really going to fail with words. Chris says, that's like something from 2001: A Space Odyssey. My God, it's full of stars. When I first read that book and saw the movie, there's something about it that just hits you right in the awe center, right? And you see Dave Bowman in the spaceship and just, right? My God, it's full of stars. Like, what does that even mean? Just expansive awareness, everything, infinity. Try to imagine infinity, you can't. It's beautiful. June Black says, you and Russell say a lot of the same things. I messaged him, but apparently being a Brit in Texas carried no weight getting him on your show. You know, if anything, I'd have to go on his show because his show's much bigger. That'd be great, actually. You guys should message Russell Brand, tell him, get ZDoggMD on the show. I'm just too much of a pussy to message him. I don't like asking to be on people's shows. I've never done it, really. People who do it to me, I'm very put off, actually. It's just one of those things. It's like a weird thing. Like, it almost never works well. Sometimes it does, but usually it doesn't. Rick Reynolds dropping some nihilism, eternalism, dualism, and monism. Yes. I don't know. This is all very monistic. It's all one thing to me. Angelo turns my evening reading of Awake indescribably and universally beautiful. Leorio 66. So here, I'm going to open up Angelo's book right now. Awake, it's your turn. He's been on the show. Get the book if you haven't. If you're interested in awakening. If you're not, please don't, because it will destabilize you. I am going to read. Let me see here. I'm going to read some things I've highlighted in the book to you, okay? You can see my little highlights here. And yeah, I mean, these are very personal pointers, all right? This is when I was talking about non-duality. I'm going to point. Now, this is one of the highest teachings, actually, that he's pointing at. But I'm just going to read what he says here. He says, and yet, there is really no such subject as awakening, realization, or enlightenment. There's a great saying in Zen, Zen is life. Zen is life. This simple statement points to what I'm getting at here. I'm not interested in you developing a new hobby called awakening. I'm not saying that this is one of the many paths you can choose. This is no path at all. What I'm pointing to throughout this book has nothing to do with paths or processes or parts of your life. What I'm pointing to is your life exactly as it is unfolding in this very moment. What I'm pointing to is not special because you have never been apart from it. What I'm pointing to is feeling every sensation you feel right now. It also is every one of those sensations. It sees everything you see, and it is the seeing itself. It is those colors and forms and shapes dancing before your eyes. It is the movement of thought right now, evaluating what you're reading. That's this that I'm pointing at isn't spiritual, because what is there that isn't spiritual then? When awakeness wakes up to itself, it immediately recognizes itself as every part of life, seamless and complete. If it had a voice, it would say, here, 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 and now, now, now. Dory says, I read this part and went, wow. Here's what I need to say. For some people, that will land in a certain way. For other people, they'll say, it sounds like mumbo jumbo, like everyone talks about here and now. For other people, it will land in a slightly different way. All I can say is, when that landed for me, just reading that passage myself in the morning prior to meditation, perception immediately shifted. And everything that was happening, it was clear it was happening to no one. It is self-aware. Awareness and this are one thing, self-luminous, perfect, happening only now. And even those words you can't describe it like that. That's the best I can do. And just reading that, having been on the path that I'm on, causes the mind to stop categorizing and feel into what he's saying and then experience. Because his point is really, it's now. You have everything you need to wake up. It's here. Even awakening, forget the idea of it. Forget the imagined idea of it. What does it mean? Is it compatible with my Christianity? Is it compatible with my Islam? Is it compatible with my Judaism? Judaism? Jewishness? Forget all that. It's here. It's now. It's always been. Can you imagine the deepest mystery of the universe? The secrets of everything, all of reality, eternity is right here. It's like right here. It's happening now. We're in the sound of my voice, in the pixels that you're seeing on your screen. Me sitting in the chair, the pressure, in my body sitting on the chair, that sensation. It's there. That's it. Look there. Jessica says it's just indescribable. Yep. It's ineffable. You can't. You just can't. Your jaw just drops and you go, that's it. Mind was not designed to process that. Chris says, we missed you, Beverly. Welcome back. Hi, Beverly. How are you? All right. So where are we at now? June Black says, everything goes so quiet, peaceful. And Bragg says it's magical. Amelia says, when Z starts these chats and the viewers drop off, I know we're left with a core community, astoundingly intelligent and inquiring. I've never felt more connection with strangers, right? Because we aren't strangers. When we point at these things, we're pointing to the one thing that is true, that we all are. What could be less strange than that? What could be less separate than the idea that even separateness can only be imagined? It's not real. There cannot be separateness. It's what... And the craziest thing about live is we do it here together now. You're not watching a replay of some bald guy talking about awakening. You're with him now, feeling it. That's why I love it. This is like the most powerful meditation for me. Like even when I'm talking to you, I don't know where words come from. They come from darkness. They come from emptiness. It's like it's the universe just talking. And normally we think we're the author of our words because there's a thought construct constantly. I'm talking. What should I say? Let me think about what to say next. But if you really inquire, if you really look in there, words are coming from nowhere. They're coming from darkness. And they're evaporating into the same darkness. That is what you are. Eternal open thisness. And you know what it feels like? It feels like love. Pure love without an opposite. Not dualistic love where love goes with hate, like goes with dislike. Love. Unconditional acceptance of everything as it is. Inner Light, George Harrison, Christine. The other day I listened to Harrison's We Were Talking, right? About the space between us all. I just mangled that. But you know what I'm talking about? That whole like hippy dippy thing when I was young, I was like, oh, what the hell, dude? Got to drop some acid to listen to this. Now I'm like, oh shit, he was talking about love. Eternal thisness. Pretty crazy. Um, Leorio66, I loved your interview with Dr. Hoffman. Yeah. Donald was my gateway to the idea that everything is the sort of rejection of materialism. The idea that, the universe is made of stuff. Now I'm really strongly convinced that it's actually stuff is what consciousness looks like to itself, and everything is just this. It's just awareness. Eternal now, creating space and time, creating stories, dreaming itself worlds. Leo Gura talks about this on YouTube. Bernardo Kastrup talks about this. I got to interview him. I'm going to ask him to come back on. It's been crazy. Erica Black has been a member for 21 months. That's so awesome. That's heroic. And somebody else was a member for 4 months here. It shows up a little badge. Ann Cairns. So awesome. I love it. Rick Reynolds. Words are flowing out like endless rain into a paper cup. They slither wildly as they make their way across the universe. Jai Guru Deva. Right? Have you heard, if you have an Apple device and AirPods, you can listen to spatial audio. Across the Universe was remixed in spatial audio. It's crazy. It's crazy good. Lennon was pretty woke. Sing some sea shanties. My daughters are really into sea shanties. I don't know any. June Black says, I wish we could have a supporter retreat. We will. We will. We're doing one with Angelo October 30th in Monterey. And I'd announced it transiently to supporters. We want to kind of give it a feel, see how that goes, and then we can do more. It's hard to get away for a week, and it can get a little pricey. But what else is there to do in the world that's that meaningful, really? It depends. And if you have answers for that, you're probably not ready to do a retreat. If your answer is no, there's nothing more meaningful, then now's the time to do a retreat. Ashley Stewart for 23 months. Where's the time gone? Into emptiness. Came from emptiness. It's a construct. It goes back into emptiness. Lisa Goodman. I just rewatched that last week one night when I couldn't sleep. Yeah. Just put my earbuds in to dry my hair. Oh, hell yeah. Don't electrocute yourself, Annette. I know I just can't do the silence, June Black. Do you know that, though? Because what is the desire for speech and all that? It's mind. It's mind chattering away. Got to talk. Got to do something. I'm bored. I'm this. I'm that. Got to communicate. Silence, you can often find connection and peace within silence that is transcendent of anything you've ever experienced. Yeah, I know, Chris, the cost is high. I know. We're going to try to figure out ways to do it for cheaper in the future if this one works well. I've never done a retreat, so this is going to be my chance to really experience that. I think it's important. I feel it. Like I'm like, ooh, this has been calling to me for a long time. Carissa says, hey, newbie to being a subscriber, and this is the first time I've made a live, and I'm really enjoying it. Love the Beatles. Right. The Beatles are the best. I wish I could play some of it now, but YouTube will tag it as copyright and pull the video. But man, the Beatles were something incredible, right? Abbey Road, come on. She came in through the bathroom window, right? It's just the whole arc of that album. How it flows is just ridiculous. Like it's a masterpiece. Yeah. What else can we say here, guys? We're down to our core 100 viewers. These are the people that are hardcore into what the next phase of all this is, right? Rick Reynolds, We're having a little retreat night right now. Retreat is a concept, right? If there's only now, when does retreat happen? If there's only here, where does retreat happen? Retreat's happening now. Angelo actually told me this, I just realized. He said, retreat is not something you think of in time and space. Because I'm like, is there anything you do to prepare for these retreats? He's like, it's not something you prepare for. It's outside of time and space. Like, so it's already happening in a way. So what he told me is tap into that emptiness between the cracks of what you're experiencing, like that silence that's in between thought, that's in between sensation, that awake silence. Man, I didn't want to start talking again, but I knew I had to because we're doing a show, but I could have done that for the next hour. Just rest your attention in the space between thoughts and watch what happens. Debbie, how you doing, girl? I see you there tuning in. I got your email. It's such a crazy inbox. The answer to your email is everything is both personal and impersonal. Everything. That's the answer to your email. So you don't need to change anything because it just is. Chris, oh man, you got me. Thought my internet froze. I know. It's kind of not something you should do on a live show, just get super present. It's really not something you should do as a matter of etiquette, but man. As Rick Reynolds says, to quote the Beatles again, turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream. They were doing that on their early albums, right? Isn't that Revolver? On the album Revolver. Before they got crazy acid trippy Sgt. Pepper's, they were awake. Tell us the story of when you knew you wanted to be a doctor. Jennifer McNabb. I still don't know if I want to be a doctor. I never knew. It was never, for me, it was like going down a river and just kind of feeling out where it took me and noticing that the currents kept driving me towards this thing. And, two physician parents, you want your river to go a different way because you see how much they suffered and how much they, might have invoked a bit of suffering in you because they weren't around. I mean, my mother was pregnant with me during her residency. So you can imagine the kind of energy that's involved. In a way, it's a kind of karmic energy, like the causes and conditions of my very birth set me on a path. So the actual perceptual awareness of, oh, I'm supposed to be a doctor never happened. It was just a pull, just a subtle but pervasive and insistent kind of pull, because when I tried to deviate, I'll be a musician, I'll be a guitarist, I'll do bench science, whatever it is, the current kept drawing back. So you either resist the current or you let it go. I highly advocate not resisting. I've resisted many times in my life and it's never been good. Never. It's never been good. So, And by good, I mean, you feel it. You feel there's a disjointedness, a separation between your authentic you and what's actually unfolding. You can feel it. Yeah, Jessica says go with the flow. It's a hackneyed cliche, and yet the hackneyed cliches point at the deepest truths. There's only now. Oh, fuck yeah, how many times have I heard that? Experience it for a second. Actually, experience it outside of a second, because time doesn't make sense. Oh, that's what there's only now means. Everything is love. Yeah, whatever, dumbass. Experience it. Start crying. Right? The dumbest cliches, the most hackneyed sayings, are our meat holes flapping, trying to point to deep truth that we know is true. And so we reduce it to language, which by its nature creates separation. Subject, object. I'm speaking, you're listening. By its nature is dualistic. Ms. Maniacal, I don't have a flow. I was born into a stagnant, dammed off stream. It can feel like that, can it? But even that is you. Even that feeling is. Don't resist it. What a stagnant, dammed off flow, man. Let me inhabit that. Because I bet there's a part in your mind. Again, I don't know what's in your mind, but there's a part of your mind going, shouldn't be this way. Resisting. Right? Belief. Investigate your beliefs about your own beliefs, about your own life, and keep investigating until you get to the core, which is what belief? Belief is a thought. Thought is not what I am. It can't be. Thoughts come and go. How can that be what I am? The same awareness that looked out through your eyes when you were 3. Think back to your earliest memory. The same awareness that looked out then at the world is looking out now, unchanged. Your body's changed. Your thoughts have changed. Your personality may have changed. Your identity's changed. You've had trauma. You've not had trauma. You've gotten rich. You haven't gotten rich. You became a nurse. You became a CNA. You became an accountant. The same being that was looking out, the face you had before your parents were born, is unchanged. It's eternal. It's everything right now. It's all of us together, the same. It's looking out from my eyes at itself, at you. Jody Whiteman says, there's no meaning in now, just a stream of sound, vibration, and light. Yes. Meaning is a thought. Meaning is a thought. What's prior to meaning? Right now. Man, I really wish I didn't feel like I had to keep talking, because otherwise you guys would be like, the video's frozen. There's a real pull to silence and experiencing now. Do you feel it? But the words get in the way, Beverly Hansen. Stefano, still not sure about everything being love. Think I might be holding on to defensiveness, inner work to do. Well, Stefano, just saying that means you're more aware of your own inner state than most. When I hear everything is love, initially I go, that's bullshit. What do you mean love? All the concepts of love start to flood in. Romantic love, acceptance, all our language uses love in so many different charged ways. But when I am speaking about love now, I mean the infinite acceptance that whatever is happening is exactly as it should be. Whoever you are, whatever is happening, whatever thought, whatever suffering, that just is. And love is a lack of separation from what is. You're as close, as intimate as you could be with everything. When they say everything is love, it means if there's only one, and even one is a description, there's just this. There's no separation. Everything is love. That's it. There's no other way to really say it in words. Rick Reynolds, everything is love. In other words, I want, gimme, gimme. That's the dualistic love, the grasping, right? What's up, Amanda? Welcome to the show. Midnight Baker, I hear it. Am glad to be a part of the small group of like-minded family. Don't stop, Z. Well, I do have to stop because I got to go, but I don't want to go. What's up, ER Epi Addict? Hold up a sign, says Vicky Doc, that says intentional silence. Oh my God, that is a great idea. How about anytime I just want to go silent and be present, I'm just going to hold up Fauci. That'll definitely put you back into the mind, back into the ABC anything but COVID mind. We did not talk about COVID. I did it. I'm so proud of myself, and I'm proud of you guys. June Black says, yes, this reminds me of that morning talk in your backyard garden. I still watch that clip. That was magical for me because everything did go silent, and I was live to like the main page on Facebook. And I posted that clip separately, and people really vibed with it because I was there with you in presence. You could see it on my face, but I don't remember any of that. I just remember pure isness at that moment that happened. And to be able to catch it on live video and then have it resonate with other people, oh my God, I can die. I'm done. I don't need to do anything else in my life. I feel like so connected. So it's those moments that you just go, gosh. You feel sometimes like your whole life leads in a direction, right? Like the flow, whether it's damned mismaniacal or whether it's flowing, your life has a telos. It's going towards something. And you can't really know what it is. You just got to go with it. Little D, that's kind of you. Thank you. June Black says, oh my, I cried. That's awesome. Rebecca Manning, I needed a break from COVID. Thanks for the presence today. It feeds my soul. Speaking of feeding, my wife, what's your status? Let me tell her. Yes, will leave in 5. We're going to have sushi today at the place I've been telling you guys about, this new place in my town that's so good. The kids love it. My wife loves it. I love it. I took Marty there, actually. There's something about when, the sushi chef just crafts something beautiful and you get to experience it. It's just a lovely thing. Thank you, you guys, really. The 100 of you that are here from all the different platforms that you pay to support our show, and you've created this space. I didn't create it. You guys create it. It's so helpful to me. Like, I feel so connected to you guys. So thank you. We'll try to do more. Even if it's just for us, right? Just for the select lunatics. What welcome to everyone who's new to the supporter tribe. This is not normal for what we do, but maybe it will become normal. Yeah, I think I can stop the recording now. All right, guys, I love you so much. I will see you soon, and we are out. Peace.